Well, good afternoon. I haven't filmed anything yet. It's 4:30, but that's all right. It's been a full day of packing and pre-packing and repacking and prepping and all that jazz to make sure we're ready to hit the road first thing tomorrow morning. I had a great visit with a girlfriend that I reconnected with. And so that took a good portion of my morning and it was awesome. So it's always fun when you can reconnect with somebody that you haven't seen in a long time and just pick up right where you left off. So it was a wonderful visit. Then I just had some running around to do. So when we get back up to the house, I'm going to do some map drawing out with the kids, and I'll probably talk a bit about sprouts if I have a chance to actually soak them properly. That'll be the other thing. So as you can see, I'm back in my van. All the kids' stuff is, well, their car seats are back in there. They're not here. So we are going to be ready to rip and hit the road tomorrow morning. I'm super pumped. I'm really excited to we're going to check out the last spike and talk a little bit about the history of the Canadian Railroad. We're going to go to the Crazy Creek Waterfall and Suspension Bridge because I've driven past it many, many times in my life and never done it. So again, just check that box. And we're going to do the Enchanted Forest because I've also never done that and driven past it many times. So we're just going to take our sweet time experiencing the Highway 1 from BC to Alberta and enjoy the scenery. Hopefully we have decent weather. It's been really cold here, but who knows? Hopefully as we get closer to the prairies, it gets hotter. But. So tomorrow morning, we're leaving right from here, which is Kamloops, and we're going to take Highway 1 all the way through here, and we're going to stop probably in Salmon Arm. We'll go check that out, go to the bathroom. All right, then we'll stop in Sicamous, also probably go to the bathroom. And then right over here is a place called the Last Spike. That's where we're going to go. We're going to see where they drove the last spike in to end the railroad that connected the eastern side of Canada to the western side of Canada. So after we check out the last spike, there is the Enchanted Forest, which we'll go and have lunch at. And we'll go to the Crazy Creek Suspension Bridge. Yeah, and then we're going to go here, and there's Revelstoke over here. We'll probably pee there. And then we'll go on to where's Golden? Oh, Golden's way over here. So we're going to go through Rogers Pass. Here we're at Golden, right? Get out of here. And then we're going to go to Field. And right near Field is right by the border of Alberta and BC. So we're going to have to get a nice photo up there.
How about the spiral tunnels?
Yeah, maybe we'll check those spiral tunnels out. Okay, so there's some tunnels, Bubby's saying. Yeah, I can erase it. It's not a big deal.
Don't forget about the Continental.
We are going to go.
And where's the Continental Divide?
Once you pass the tunnels, they're right
Yeah.
there.
Okay. And there's like a sign for it? Ouch. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We got some other things to check out around here. Jacob's done. Do not color on my map. No! Henry. You guys are going to wreck it. We're not in Ladner anyway. Anyways, then we're going to go through here. Then we're going to go, Banff. Canmore's in here somewhere. Canmore, Cochrane. Canmore's there. And then we'll be in Calgary. Woohoo! And go see Panda. Okay, so we're just about at the end of the day. And I'm going to talk to you about some sprouts. So I recently got a sprout kick. I bought this book, the Sprout Book, by Doug Evans. He's like the sprout man on Instagram, wherever you can find him. The book is worth getting if you've ever been interested in sprouts. The reason I'm interested in sprouts is because A, they're really cheap, and B, they're really easy to grow, and C, they are stupidly high in nutrients. So you can get just so much out of these tiny little baby seeds that make these tiny little baby plants, and then you consume them. And what's cool about them is they don't need a ton of work. It's just getting the setup that kind of is the hardest part for a lot of people. I mean, they're to the point where like we bought Tyson a couple jars to take on ship, and he was able to grow broccoli sprouts and I think a sandwich blend successfully on when he was on ship, when he was sailing. And so what's great about that is he can have the added benefits of fresh nutrients, which aren't often on the ship. So I'm going to show you what my setup is like, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the process of how to set it up, and we'll kind of go from there. So this is like my poor woman's setup. This is not usually my setup at home. This, what my mother has going here, is normally my kind of sprout setup at home. I bought the same dish rack from Bed Bath & Beyond. It can hold up to 8 jars. It's wonderful, and I've got a drying mat underneath. It's great. I have the same lids. West Coast Seeds, I believe, is the company that puts those out. They're awesome. But this is going to be my carboy. And usually I wrap mine in tin foil, but I'm going to go with tea towels because they will block out the light and they'll also stop the jars from wiggling around too much. So in here, what I've got is some lentils. And then I also have got some broccoli seeds. Broccoli seeds are super, super tiny, but super, super nutritious. So what I do is well, what Doug Evans tells you to do is you're going to take out your seeds, and it's very important. He talks a lot about the mindfulness of, you know, being the midwife to your seeds, which I think is funny and cute. So he's all about, you know, being really aware of what's going on with your baby seeds while you're growing them and taking the time and being mindful when you sort through them. So he says you want to go through and you want to sort through anything that's damaged, anything that doesn't look that great. So I usually use a plate. As you can see, lentils are pretty easy to do. They're going to pick up anything that is got chips out of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera. Yeah, so it's got a little broken bit. And then I get rid of it. And then what I'll do, because I'm not going to soak these until like 11 o'clock at night, because they're going to soak for 8 hours. I'm not going to be up that late, hopefully. Not much later than that. So I'm going to sift through and pick out the ones that are not good and that are going to just be damaged. So what that means is they're not going to sprout. They're not going to germinate. They're not going to become a little baby plant because they're already damaged. So usually the seeds are pretty good. These ones, I believe, are the Handy Pantry seeds. We ordered them from America. Not cheap. Duty really sucked on them. But you can get West Coast seeds in Vancouver. They are available even up in Kamloops. And anywhere that you can find seeds. Now you want to buy a certain type of seed, which has a high germination rate, which is why they're called sprouting seeds. So they have a more likely chance of actually coming to become a sprout, and that they're tested for cleanliness. So you really want to make sure. But you're going to be able to also go and sanitize these guys as well, which is what he'll teach you to do, or what he teaches you to do. I hope this is like not a crappy angle for you guys. Sorry. So I've picked through most of my lentils here. And I really like lentils. I think they're an amazing little friend to have in your diet. They're so packed. And Doug Evans knows all the facts about lentils, but I believe like the increase that you get from sprouting them is just insane. It's an increase in like iron, vitamin C, fiber, insoluble fiber, everything. It's just a great way. And so after I've sprouted through, if we've gone through most of them, you won't maybe get all of them. I mean, maybe you can if you're like an amazing person, but doing my best I can, guys. It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm feeling it. So yeah, you're going to kind of go through, pick whatever you got. And then what I do is I put them into a bowl carefully so they don't slide all over the counter, which they still do. And then at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse them and soak them for a little bit. So first you're going to rinse them off. So there's my lentils in a bowl. So you'd rinse them off, and then what you're going to do is he says you can rinse them off with like, yeah, rather than looking at all the garbage in the back here, you can rinse them off with, bleach. No, here we go. You can rinse them off with bleach or like hydrogen peroxide. I just use boiling water for 10 seconds. He says that's another option. Bleach is always kind of freaks me out. I don't know why. Anyways, so you're gonna rinse them quickly. I put boiling water on them for 10 seconds, and then I rinse them, and then you're gonna let them sit for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you're gonna rinse them. Then you're gonna let them sit again for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you're gonna rinse them, and then you're gonna set them again. And you're gonna put the same amount of seeds as you put water, I believe. So it's like, or is it 3 times? I don't know. They're gonna expand a lot, so I just kind of fill it. I'm not very exact all the time, but they tend to grow, so that's good. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Okay. Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to then soak them for 8 hours. And what happens in that time with however much water, I'm going to check the book. This book tells you everything. And in that time, what happens is you really are starting to germinate the seed like it would in the soil. So that's why you want it dark and you want it wet, because usually when a seed needs to start growing, those are the two things. What I love about it is you don't need sunlight. In fact, at the end, when your sprout starts to get little tiny leaves, you can put it out in the sun, and then you would get the advantage of the chlorophyll, because the sun will then take, or the plant, the sprouts will take the energy from the sun and turn it into chlorophyll, which again is also very beneficial for you. I actually take chlorophyll all the time for my gut health. So I'm not going to do all this tonight because I need to get to bed, but what I will do is I'll film the little bits that I do, and tomorrow I'll add it into our video to kind of give you an update on the sprouts. So this is the first time I've sprouted on the road. So we'll see how our makeshift little sprout system works. If it's a success, great. If not, we'll tinker and we'll figure it out. Because I know Tyson's jars worked really well, and you just have them upside down because they sit a certain way and there's a lid, but there's allow airflow. So like you need airflow, you need drainage, you need darkness, and cleanliness. You want to keep it clean. So we'll see how that goes in the car with 4 kids. But anyways, we'll see you tomorrow morning. We are off to Calgary. Bye.